tubes are pre-stressed when the stays of the extra-dosing pull in the opposite direction, the habitual oscillations of tension in the cables won't be produced. And this is essential in such a difficult element to substitute. The joining of the struts with the deck is carried out by means of a diaphragm concreted in situ, complex for the necessary precision in the mounting of the formwork as well as the steel frameworks, which is full of sleeves. For the execution of the piers, FCC has had 4 tower cranes of 70 meters of boom from its machinery park. In the non-navigable channel, the segments arrived by road and were placed on the deck at the end of a launching girder which places them in balanced cantilevers on each pier. 300 units were placed in this way with a maximum weight of 100 tons. The segments were prefabricated with some interior bulks beside the webs, which were used to join each other provisionally with pre-stressed bars. Once the segments corresponding to each pier were placed, the complete stretch was replaced by means of 4 hydraulic jacks housed in the head of the pier. After each stretch was joined to the previous one, executing a closing segment in situ, and then the definitive internal pre-stressing was carried out. The exterior wings of the deck were also executed in situ by means of sliding gantries which were supported on the central caisson. Due to the width of the deck, this was carried out in 2 phases. The first from the central caisson up to the connection of the struts to the deck, and the second from the previous edge up to the deck's extreme. In the navigable channel, the realization of the deck needed, due to its singularity and complexity, a great amount of previous work of engineering in the development of the hoisting equipments and the execution procedures, as well as in the development and adaptation of the pre-stressing and extra-dosing systems. In this case, the segments, which already bring part of the wings from the factory, arrived by river, loaded in a pontoon, and were placed beside the pier. The first 10 were hoisted by means of a system composed of a metallic structure anchored to the pylons and a winch with rails which ran along it. The first 2 were placed on decks replacing jacks, and they were braced to the head of the pier with a vertical pre-stressing. Once the remaining 8 were placed, the set were replaced again by means of 4 jacks, each of 1,700 tons. After, the hoisting structure of the segments was dismounted and the deck was joined to the struts and the head of the pier, making all of them, pier, struts and deck, working monolithically.